Hello everyone, my name is Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. We are reacting to Shoe on Head, and this one is called the Twitch Thought Epidemic and its Consequences. So yeah, there's a lot of thoughts on Twitch, so let's see what Shoe on Head has to say about the situation.
Years ago, I made a video about how if you don't like seeing lewd things online, simply close your eyes and walk away. But what happens when you do close your eyes and walk away, but no matter where you walk away to, you bump right back into it? Whether it's on Twitter, TikTok, or even Twitch. Dasani water. I'm gonna get canceled for this. All these years, and this is what's gonna get me canceled. I don't want to hear it from any water snobs, okay? Where are my fellow Dasani heads at? But anyway, do you like the red hair? A lot of the Twitch thoughts
I prefer Ice Mountain water over Dasani.
that I'm gonna be talking about have red hair. I felt like I was missing out. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about the Twitch thought epidemic and its consequences, as well as OnlyFans culture and the of I promise this won't make sense. Maybe. Like all my videos are just kind of messy brain vomit. I mean, I guess that's one way you could be sure I'm not plagiarizing. When I start to sound smart and make sense, that's a red flag. I figured out how to use ChatGPT. So for those of you who are unaware, Twitch is a video game streaming website, or at least it used to be, where people often stream themselves playing video games and interact with their viewers. But recently, in the past few years, it has been invaded by women.
There have been a variety of metas that have popped up on Twitch. If you haven't kept up with them on Twitter, they've really been pushing the line of close to nudity. VTubers have got on this trend as well because, well, why the fuck not? And Twitch has been having a hard time keeping up with the metas that have been popping up.
But not only women, naked women. Now you might be asking, Shoo, what is wrong with that? And normally, you'd be correct. But Twitch is a website for kids, advertised for users 12 and up, and predominantly used by young boys. And the question on everyone's mind is, are these evil Jezebels preying on today's youth? Or are they simply the product of capitalism? Clever, sneaky women taking advantage of people living under a brutal system in order to selfishly make money. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Before we get into this, let's quickly get into today's sponsor. When you're browsing the internet, you may think all your personal information is safe on there. Down below, to get
Sorry, I'm always going to skip the sponsors because I don't really care.
A 2-week free trial and see if your personal information has been leaked online. Big thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video, and as always, thank you
Nothing against the creators or anything, it's just I'm here for the video, not for the sponsor.
Viewer for not skipping the ad. Now let's get back to the video. So about 2 weeks ago, this tweet showed up on my Twitter timeline.
Yes,
What's going on with Twitch? Which showed a streamer.
This meta. I saw this one go on for a long time. I saw both regular streamers and VTubers get on this because there have been the complaint I've heard is that a lot of VTubers, and I am a VTuber over on Twitch, so I'm waiting for my commission to get done. But a lot of the complaints I've heard from VTubers is that while the regular streamers who do this don't get banned or taken down or anything, the VTubers who do show some stuff without full nudity end up getting the ban hammer and some shit. So they feel it's unfair, so they're joining in on the meta just to show the unfairity of it.
Wearing no shirt, swinging her fun bags around slightly off camera every time she got a donation. So for strictly research purposes, I went to Twitch to see if this was real, and surely enough it was. And it wasn't just one streamer, it was many, it was multiple. It was the entire home page.
Wait,
it was many.
What is Shy Lily doing there? Why is Shy Lily there amongst all these ladies? artistic nudity, twerking. Why is Shy Lily counted among this? Shy Lily doesn't do any of that.
It was multiple. It was the entire home page. And then when you went to click on one of the streams, it just took you there. No verification needed, no login required, nothing. And the whole internet pretty much agreed this was insane. Not everyone, we will get to that, but most people agreed this was crossing a line. Because of all the outrage, Twitch changed the rules. Not to fix the website, they changed the rules in order to save the Twitch thots. Twitch actually doubled down and made it so twerking.
Twitch announced that artistic nudity will be allowed on the platform. These are the new update policies. Twerking, grinding, and pole dancing are now allowed without a label. Artistic nudity permitted under sexual themes label. Body painting acceptable with appropriate label. Yeah. They're doing this because these, who's making that? Probably that. They're doing this because these Twitch thots rake in a lot of money for the company, so they don't want to lose that. So they're just making it so they're able to keep doing it without getting banned, which I think is really stupid.
Pole dancing and artistic nudity was allowed. Artistic nudity. Right. So obviously, Twitch is run by simps. We knew this. Anyway. Artistic nudity, so like, can you glue googly eyes onto your d? Can you do like a little meat spin on camera with googly eyed, and that would be considered cool and fine? Because it's art, right, Twitch? Why am I still doing this? So then VTubers, animated YouTubers, took advantage of this new artistic nudity rule and started streaming their avatars butt-ass naked.
It's called hentai, and it's art.
Only for them to get
It's beautiful art.
banned while the Twitch thots remained. Clearly, 2D girl discrimination. A few days later, Twitch...
Yeah, see, if that doesn't, that's something that doesn't make any sense to me. If you're letting regular streamers do it, why are you not letting VTubers do it? What's the real difference? You're being hypocritical at that point. I mean, you know, I'm not... I got nothing against what they're doing. If they're doing it, if they're getting money doing this and they want to advertise their body to the fucking planet, you know, be my guest. If it makes you happy, go right ahead. But if you're going to allow one and not allow the other, then don't allow either or allow both. Don't be a fucking hypocrite.
finally banned the Twitch thots for a day.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Okay, time's up.
This has been going on for a very long time, from hot tub streams to ASMR ear licking.
I don't understand how people like that. It's just sends a shiver down my spine that I don't like. It's basically just ear porn. That's all that really is. It's just ear porn without the actual porn.
Twitch has just becoming a cesspool for this stuff, especially in the past 3 years, following a pattern I have been seeing online. A huge increase of OnlyFans models and everywhere. And it isn't just my observation, it's a fact. There are many studies that came out that show pornography and pornography addiction increased significantly during the pandemic, especially for young people, and hasn't decreased since. And the amount of...
That's easy to determine. It's because they couldn't go outside or do anything, so they had to pass the time somehow with video games and Twitch thots and porn. So yeah, that's why it increased, because nobody was allowed to go out anywhere.
People making content on OnlyFans has skyrocketed. Being locked in our houses absolutely did something to our brains. You used to have to go out of your way to see this stuff, and now it's everywhere. Now compare this to how I talked about this issue a few years ago, where I would make fun of people for complaining about... This is like walking into a strip club and being like, get your horny asses out of here. The difference is now, everywhere is the strip club. It's to the point where even meme accounts on Twitter are being paid to discreetly advertise OnlyFans pages. And you can't even block the accounts that show up as ads on Twitter. Great website, Elon. 13 plus, by the way. And anyone who points this out is called a prude or a conservative. If you have an issue with naked women making softcore on a website full of children, you're the problem. How does the overall well-being of society affect you, bigot? Most of the internet seems to agree that this Twitch thing was wrong, but there were a lot of people mad at me and others for pointing out the obvious. So we're gonna respond to some of those critiques from people who disagree on this subject, and then we're gonna talk a little more deeply about all of this, because I feel like it's a little deeper than the Twitch thoughts. The Twitch thoughts are just a symptom of a disease. Why doesn't Twitch just make a new 18 plus site? They do this on Twitch because the market is already saturated on actual porn cam sites. They won't stand out. They can find a larger, younger audience on Twitch. What I'm trying to say is, these should be banned. Okay, so my tweet was a little harsh, but am I wrong? Blaming these women.
Well, no, she's not wrong. Twitch is also a very hypocritical site. And they get a lot of flack for being very hypocritical with the rules that they set out. Like, we just saw a lot of the VTubers who were in on the meta that the regular streamers were doing got banned, while the regular streamers didn't get any consequences. Like I said, if you're going to punish one set of people but not the other, you either punish all of them or you punish none of them. I realize you're not going to make everybody happy, but at least don't be hypocritical with what your rules are.
Women for what Twitch allows, and calling them accomplishes nothing except morally grandstanding that you think you're better than them. So first of all, I am better than them. So are you. So is everyone who doesn't make on Twitch. And second of all, I know calling them does nothing.
Yes, if you're not making that sort of stuff online, you are technically, yes, you are morally better than those who do. Because you're not selling yourself for, you know. I'm sorry, it's just true. Morally, you are better in that regard. Other regards, probably not.
I did it because it was funny. These are grown-ass women toying with the TOS. They know what they're doing is wrong. They know they're walking a fine line. That's why they're here, on Twitch, and not on the hundreds of adult websites that exist. If a parrot, they're so dangerous to you, maybe you should lock yourself in the cave. Cry more, little bro, and tell your fellow bros to stop thinking with their dicks.
Then maybe you should stop thinking with your tits. And your ass. You fucking hypocrite.
Hello, fellow bros. Stop thinking with your dicks. Brace yourselves. The incels about to lose their minds and act like women are ruining Twitch. Lol at the men in these comments admitting they are not attracted to women. I'm sorry you don't like hot women. Maybe work on the internalized misogyny. Nah, sorry. If you don't like huge oiled up milkers bouncing around on a Twitch stream, I'm just gonna assume you hate women. Do straight men even like women? Oh, you're not sexualizing women? You're not just gooning to every woman you see? What do you, hate women? What are you, gay? How did they manage to reverse?
What if I'm very hypocritical with a lot of a certain demographic of women who keep saying, don't sexualize us, when it's clearly you ladies who are doing more of the sexualizing of your own gender than men are? The hypocrisy is very thick.
Reverse engineer being sexist into not going awooga awooga honk honk every time they see a woman. Incredible. Huge fan of these mammoth milkers, but I do worry about the dynamic and weirdness of women who are essentially sex workers interacting with and asking for donations from chat on a site largely used by young men. Feels like a race to the bottom. When Vosh and I, the people who talk about Pokemon, are saying things have gotten weird, I think that's proof that things have gotten weird. As a sex worker, I agreed. I dislike the blurring of adult and all ages platforms like Twitch and TikTok, but I also don't know what men expected when it's so successful either. I don't know, I guess men expected women not to get borderline naked on a website occupied with children.
Yeah, look, like I said before, if you want to sell your body to the entire planet, and make money off of it, if that's what makes you happy, go right the fuck ahead. It's your choice, your body, do what you want. But if you're going on sites where there are actual children and doing this, that's where the problems start to come about. You shouldn't be doing that. You know better. You're a fucking adult. Make better choices. If you want to do this stuff, keep it on OnlyFans and all the, sex sites. Do that where, well, I obviously know kids are going on those sites, but where it's keep it where it's supposed to be. Don't go on Twitch and start doing this stuff where children have free reign to go on and see this shit. I know it's difficult, but at least have some sort of moral compass.
Maybe the bar is really not that high. There is a market for literally everything. That doesn't make literally everything excusable. If you give your kid unrestricted access to the internet, that's a you problem. Parents have to take some level of responsibility over their child's online content consumption.
That is true. But you also have to take responsibility for what you yourself are putting out online. So it's not all the kid's fault, and it's not all the parents' fault. It's also the person's fault for putting it out in there and the ethos. So not everybody, not one singular person is 100% at fault. There are 3 people at fault. The parents for letting their kids see this stuff. Well, okay, 2 people who are at fault, because some of these kids are pretty damn stupid. The 2 people at fault are the parents for letting their kids consume this content. And the second person at fault is the person who's putting out the content for kids to see. So, not one singular person is ever fully at fault. There's always more than one person that is at fault.
So I agree with this. Of course I agree with this. Parents should absolutely be monitoring what their kids are looking at online. The issue is Twitch is advertised as a website for them. It is advertised for users 12 and up, so parents will naturally assume that the website doesn't feature like this. I think that's a pretty reasonable assumption to make. Like, I don't have to sit and watch Nick Jr. constantly with a 10-year-old just in case Peppa Pig decides to go Girls Gone Wild. It's safe to assume that is not going to happen. So yes, you should be monitoring what your kids are doing online, but this isn't like a kid going onto an 18+ website. This is a kid going on a website that is advertised for them, that is made for them. So this is in big part the website's problem. A lot of people were saying that the solution to this would be making Twitch 18+, which I agree makes perfect sense to do, but the thing is, Twitch won't make it 18+, because that's what drives away advertisers.
It also drives away a lot of people. They would lose a lot of consumers and people who are willing to donate and gift and other stuff. So I'd say probably over half of their revenue would be gone if they made the site 18+.
Lots of advertisers won't advertise on websites that are 18+. It's too risky, it's bad for their brand. And Amazon, the owner of Twitch, needs more money, of course. Same reason Twitter isn't being made 18+. Because at the end of the day, the richest men in the world need more money. And apparently, Twitch is going bankrupt. No wonder they want to keep the Twitch thots on the platform. Also, I didn't even know that Twitter was only 13+ until embarrassingly recently. Elon, I beg of you, either make Twitter 18+ or get rid of the porn. I personally think the former is the better idea because I'm tired of seeing unsolicited opinions of minors on the internet, and I just don't get tired of seeing images of strangers' butt pop up on my Twitter timeline.
Yeah, normally in sites where 18+ content is rampant, it should be made 18+ so minors aren't on there. And there are a lot of people on Twitter and Twitch who are masquerading themselves as over 18 that are actually under 18, but we can't fucking tell until they either say it or somebody digs up their information and lets everybody know. So, yeah, it's a lot of us content creators are walking a very fine line because we can never really tell who's over 18 or who's under 18. Hell, even in real life, you go see a lot of these ladies who clearly look like they should be in their 20s who aren't. It is very dangerous to walk around and talk to some people. And it is very dangerous to go about the internet and talk to some people because you have no idea how old they are until they actually say something. Or until you look them up. So either way, you got to be very careful with what you're doing.
Timeline while I'm scrolling in public. Always a joy. But think of the children aside, Twitch is just not a website for this. There are thousands of other websites for this. There are so many, so why do these women have to do this on a website not for this? Well, it's simple. Because the websites that are made for this stuff are already oversaturated. The market is full, and basically these mids are not going to stand out on a dirty webcam site where there's thousands of other people doing exactly what they're doing. But when there's only a few dozen on Twitch doing it, they're more likely to stand out, get more followers, make more money, and attract an audience that wouldn't normally go on those other sites. Unfortunately, in this case, a much younger audience. I remember in like 2008 or so, I did a fan meetup, and most of the people that came were in their 20s, in college, in their 30s, but there were like a few 12, 13-year-olds, 15-year-olds with their parents, and I was just like, oh no. Like, it just didn't even occur to me that people that young would be watching my content or interested in my content. But just the fact that people that age knew about me was so scary. So I just have to wonder, like, how are these people not feeling that way? Like, I didn't purposely go out of my way to attract that audience, but these people...
Yeah. Like for me, over on my Twitch channel, I have the chat set to 18 plus. Or so if you click on the chat box, you have a little thing pops up saying you have to be 18 plus, and then hit OK, and then it lets you talk. And I clearly have it in my description that this is an 18 plus thing. So I go about my time streaming, and I talk to people in my whoever talks in my chat, assuming that they're 18 plus, and I just go about my time on my stream, and I just talk to them, and as soon as they let me know that they're not 18 plus, I just like, ooh. It's like, yeah, can you please not be here? I'd rather not get in trouble. Look, I don't have a problem with those who are not 18 plus coming into my stream. I don't have a problem with them personally. It's just what the games I play and who I am an 18 plus person. I don't want to get in trouble with TOS or anything else talking to somebody who is not of 18 years of age or older. So a lot of us streamers talk to our audience with the assumption and hope that they're all 18 plus. When we find out, we're just like, we either let them know, please leave, or we are from then on very, very careful with what we say and talk about, because they're not 18 or older. They're not legally an adult. So it's a very fine line a lot of us content creators walk.
People are going out of their way to attract that audience. If they weren't, they wouldn't be doing it on this website. They would be doing it on the websites this stuff is for. What makes it possibly even grosser is the fact that Twitch uses in-game money, meaning a kid could use their parents' money to buy Twitch bits or whatever the and then use those Twitch bits in order to get these women to interact with them and to shake their and their parents would never know. Many people suspect this is the reason Twitch made that change, but I don't know. It does line up with Twitch's MO. They will do anything to keep these women on their platform. They are their cash cow. They bring in the big bucks. After all, there is a market for this. Men, takes two to tango. Most of these would be broke if it wasn't for your coomer asses. Oh wow, sex workers working under capitalism? How crazy. Every man in this comment section has mommy issues and gets no actions.
So by therefore, every woman in the comment section has daddy issues and gets no actions. You realize there's two sides to the coin there, lady.
Y'all mad she's making more money with less effort. Finding this tool makes you're a pervert.
Here's the other thing. The reason why a lot of these 18 plus workers get a lot of flack is because they're doing what is easy. You're not going to get high praises or anything for doing what comes easy. You're selling your body. When it comes to this stuff, women have it the easiest because somebody who, on a scale of 1 to 10 when it comes to looks, somebody who's a 4 can still easily get, do this sort of thing and get money or get laid easily. And you're not going to get praised or anything. You're going to get a lot of shit because you're doing what comes easy. You're selling your body. That's not a hard thing to do. So a lot of these women get mad because they get shit for doing what comes easy. It's like, well, what do you expect? You want to get praised or something? Do something and accomplish something that's not easy to do. Then you're going to get praise and other stuff. Doing this sort of stuff that's takes no effort whatsoever, yeah, you're going to get shit. Deal with it.
Go to your dead mom. Smartest Twitter user. Sounds like you're just mad you can't manipulate a following in the same fashion. Granted, I don't condone it, but you're coming off as salty as a group of people found a loophole around the TOS and are abusing it. Frankly, these women should be praised for thinking outside the box and pandering to an audience that isn't oversaturated.
No, once again, you're doing what comes easy, you're not going to get praised for it. I'm sorry, but you're just not. And if you don't like that fact, well, cry about it.
You can't exactly criticize them for being smart enough to know which outlet has a higher chance of yielding income. What do you mean? It takes 2 seconds to take off my shirt. Literally any woman in the world can do this, but most don't because making on a website mostly populated by minors is gross and insane. Gonna be honest, I thought you were a dude. Funny you shame the women.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
And when it's clearly women just taking advantage of the system we live under, capitalism, yet you call yourself a socialist? A lot of issues do come down to capitalism, but as we do so often with other things, you can criticize people exploiting this system and exploiting the loopholes in this system. We don't just hand wave away politicians.
Here's the other thing. You are putting yourself out on the internet. You're opening yourself up to criticism and anybody in the world and their mother to comment on. That's one thing you need to, these people who can't get it through their thick skulls need to realize. You are on the internet. Anyone who has an internet connection and that sees your video has every right in the world to comment and criticize you for it. Because you put yourself on the internet. It's going to be there forever. So, you don't like being criticized? You don't like having other people's opinions on your shit? Don't put it on the internet. Simple as that. All the videos I make, I've had plenty of people, criticize me and, say things to me, both here on YouTube, on TikTok, and on Twitch. I'm putting myself on the internet. I expect this stuff because it's on the internet. You don't like this stuff? You can't handle it? You can't handle other people's opinions without arguing with them like a dumbass? Don't put it on the fucking internet. Go about your life, stress-free, and just be happy. Easy as that.
Buying stock. We don't just hand wave away Jeff Bezos making his employees pee in bottles just because we live under capitalism and it is what it is. No. Yes, ultimately, I guess it's a capitalism issue. It's a TOS issue. But you'd never apply this standard to people marketing gambling or crypto scams on Twitch, which is funny because, a year ago, there was a bunch of gambling drama on Twitch, and one of the biggest critiques people had was, there are children on this site. You're basically selling gambling to children. So how is this any different? It's amazing that just because they're women, suddenly they get a pass. And if you call it out, you are slut-shaming or a pick-me, of course. Oh look, Queen Pick-me is at it again, putting down other women. Shu is, I'm not like other girls personified. Okay, this insult normally doesn't work, but it especially doesn't work here because I am like other girls. Most women, in fact, do not make porn on Twitch. It's incredible how criticism of even a single woman is.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Twitch is mostly like the biggest thing category on Twitch is the just chatting thing. A very small population of Twitch is this sort of, 18 plus content and the hot tub thing. A lot of people don't realize it is a very small part of Twitch. The largest part of Twitch, if you combined everything together, is probably the just chatting and the gaming. Those are the two biggest sections of it, if I were to guess. But right now the largest category is the just chatting one, because that's always with anywhere between, I'd say, 400,000 and 700,000 viewers. But yeah, it's just the just chatting and the gaming. Those are the two biggest sections. The smallest ones are, in my opinion, probably the hot tub thing and this meta that they're doing. Those are probably the smallest ones. But they get the most criticism of it.
It's seen as some personal betrayal, and the only reason you would do so is male attention. I never understood why I need to feel some sort of, loyalty to complete strangers just because we were born the same sex. I don't know you b****s. I don't support all of you. Some of you were dumb. Like as if these kids don't have access to porn at the tips of their fingertips. Trust me, if they want porn, they will get it. There aren't any toddlers on Twitch as far as I'm aware. It's 13 plus. Do Americans think children will be traumatized by seeing naked women? Do they not realize those same kids can and do simply go to porn sites to jerk off? Shu, I hate to tell you this, but the average kid is seeing way worse stuff online all the time. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Let's be real, this ain't nothing to kids nowadays. I grew up with the internet as a kid/teen and was able to find stuff back in 2002. Where now it's literally so easy to find stuff and most teens have phones. I don't think they would be fazed by this content. Again, that is a bad thing. Maybe it shouldn't be that way. I hate this whole, well, that's just the way things are attitude. That's how you get people coming up with these.
Someone needs to create for children. Okay, let's... Young teens are already watching porn, but they're finding hardcore, aggressive videos that give a terrible view of sex. They need entry-level, a softcore site where everyone asks for consent and no... Oh my god. Yeah, this person should have just kept that thought in their own head. If it gets to a point where we are just now so content with it and say that's just how it is, that's when you know it's gone a bit too far and shit needs to be fixed. Kids, I mean, even a lot of people don't understand that all of what you see in these sites is not how stuff actually is. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who like that stuff, but it's not how it is in real life. A lot of the stuff that you see on these sites is, just for the video. And it's not conducive to actual real life of what happens. But this is just a one big no. Just no. Children, just minors, should not be consuming this 18 plus content like it's cereal. That's just a whole bag of no.
Head ass ideas like making for kids because kids will find porn anyway. There were so many replies to me that were like, I was watching hardcore since I was 10 and I turned out fine. Your Twitter likes are public, sir. No, you didn't. You don't see a problem with this because you are extremely desensitized, and honestly, so am I. I'm no swerf, I'm no sex worker, exclusionary, radical feminist, because first of all, I'm not a feminist. It's like our culture has become so overly sexual that it's not even sexual anymore. Our culture is just becoming desensitized to sex.
Yeah. The sad thing is, people see it as more of a transaction now than anything else, which is bad in and of itself. Sex, and it should not be seen as transactional. It's horrible that it is, but it shouldn't be seen as that. It should be seen as something that's much more intimate and just I don't know another word for it. It's just, it should be seen as something that's more intimate between two people and not as something that's a transaction to happen. And it's come to the point where it's not really seen as an intimate thing anymore. It's just seen as, you know, a transaction between two people, which is very horrible. But I don't know what to say. Our society is pretty fucked up.
And that's not a good thing. I guess I just miss the days of tasteful thigh. Because of this oversaturation, many in Gen Z are apparently craving normal relationships on the big screen. They're bored of seeing sex everywhere. To them, sex has been available, one Google click away, since they were like 4 years old. And it's having really negative outcomes. Like,
hang on, what did that say?
They were like 4 years old. And it's
the impact of pornography on children. This is American College of Pediatricians, June of 2016, abstract. The availability and use of pornography has become almost ubiquitous among adults and adolescents. Consumption of pornography is associated with many negative emotional, psychological, and physical health outcomes. These include increased rates of depression, anxiety, acting out, and violent behavior, younger age of sexual debut, sexual promiscuity, increased risk of teen pregnancy, and distorted view of relationships between men and women. Yeah, the relationship between the two genders have been skewed and distorted a lot over the past, I'd say, 10 to 20 years because of how readily available this 18 plus content is and how much there is. I mean, probably over half of the internet is 18 plus content, which in and of itself, that is not good. And yes, it because it's seen as so transactional, the increase of pregnancy between single people has gone up so much. And a lot of people don't take the time to realize the consequences of what this does and what can happen. And a lot of people become parents out of wedlock. People need to realize that with doing this comes the possibility of becoming a parent. So, yeah. Think before you act, people. I mean, really think before you act.
Having really negative outcomes. Like the amount of grown-ass millennials calling Gen Zers prudes and puritans is another word I saw. It's just really fucking weird. Like, I'm sorry we're all porn-addicted gooners. Maybe the younger generation is trying to tell us something.
I would be more than happy if the younger generations, like the generations that come after me, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and after that, become more prude. And the rise of virgins actually happens and less people watch porn. I would be more than happy about that because they're going back to how it should have been, to where sex and all this stuff is seen as more of an intimate thing rather than a transactional thing. I would be more than happy to see that or hear about that, whichever one is better. My generation was really fucked up of this.
Someone called me a prude over this. Me. Just like with video games when I was a kid. Boys are mad because girls are playing in a space they've deemed theirs and are kicking their asses at it. So first of all, girls have already been in these spaces playing video games for years. There was no issue, so it's kind of weird to be like, sorry, we're kicking your asses, boys. Like, kicking their asses at what? Being naked on camera? Being naked on camera in front of minors? I just think it's interesting and ironic how like 10 years ago, these same people were fighting to keep sexualized women out of video games, and now they are fighting to keep sexualized women on Twitch, a website for video games. It has come full circle. If only Anita was here to see it. Also, imagine flipping the genders in your stupid fake fan fiction. Imagine a grown-ass man coming into like a female space. I don't know, what's a female space? The Stanley Cup fandom. Those cups. Imagine a man come.
I don't understand the craze with the Stanley Cups. They're the same thing as any thermal cup, just a different brand and a different look. It's the same thing as any insulated cup. What's the craze behind this? I don't get it.
Coming into the fandom of these fucking cups, dangling his ding dong around, and people are like, can you stop? That's really weird. And he's just like, oh wow, you just hate men. Like, f you, go away. These women aren't stealing anything from the men. If anything, they're stealing from the women. Because the more Twitch becomes a website for this, the more this shit rises to the top. And the more normal streamers, especially women, who don't do this, sink to the bottom. If I was a female, wait, I am a female. If I was a female gamer grinding my ass off in this male-dominated space, the same way a lot of men do, and seeing what female content rises to the top of this website, I would be pretty demoralized. Look anywhere, not just Twitch. Sex work starts to appear like the only successful avenue a woman can go down. In 2014, there was a lot of talk about harassment towards women online. And my answer would always be like, just trolls, just block them, just ignore them. They're trying to get a rise out of you, which is still true. But a lot of these people aren't trolls anymore. They're your followers, your friends, your allies. You see, sexual harassment has evolved. 15 years ago, it was anonymous trolls entering your chat like, show me your tits. Now it's Jeff, he, him, politely asking if you're interested in joining OnlyFans. You know, show me your tits. For money. What is stopping me from taking off my shirt and making a ton of money? Besides, you know, a father figure. Pretty much nothing. Any woman can do this, which is why so many women do this. The pressure is insane.
Which is also why so many women get criticized for it. Because it's what comes easy to them. It's the truth.
For young women nowadays, and I honestly feel bad for them. I do. I feel bad for women. What is this? What is this strange feeling? But from their point of view, from what they've been told, society is going to sexualize them anyway. You're a woman online and you don't sexualize.
Yeah, look, I got nothing against those who want to do this sex work thing. I really don't. If you what makes you happy and if it what brings you money, go right ahead, do it. But at the same time, you cannot complain when you get criticism. You just can't. You put yourself out on the internet, you're going to get criticized, and you're doing what comes very easy. You're selling your body for money. It is not hard to do that. It is very easy to do that, and you're going to get criticized for it because it's what comes easy. Again, if you want to do it, and it makes you money, and it makes you happy, go right ahead. Do it. But like I said, you can't complain when you get criticized for doing it. One, like I said, because it comes easy. And two, you're on the internet.
Yourself? That's okay. We got AI for that. Also, while I'm editing this, I just noticed that was an ad. That's an ad on Twitter. It says ad in the corner. Dystopian. Why not simply take the power back and make money off the inevitable? It's getting weird out there. Men and women are being pushed and pulled in so many different directions. Women are being sold this idea that they should be independent girl bosses who don't need no man. And if they want to make the choice to be sex workers, that's their choice. And I consider myself socially libertarian, so I'm all for personal choice. But how much of this really is personal choice?
Only coercion.
I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat.
Yeah, things nowadays are so fucking expensive. Even houses are damn near impossible to afford. I mean, the average cost of a house, if I'm not mistaken, is anywhere between $300,000 and $500,000. And the median income of America, I think, is $35,000 to $45,000 a year. Even those who are making $100,000 a year are still having trouble affording a house, and that's fucking sad. I'm making around $42,000 a year, I think, on my job, And I'm barely able to afford the place I live in and to feed myself and keep my cat fed. It's hard. The price of everything keeps rising, and yet the everybody's payment doesn't seem to be keeping up with it.
Things gonna go back to where you can work and support your family without f***ing stressing out. I can't do this.
The other thing is, it used to be where only one person in the household needed to work to afford a house and afford food on the table. Now, everybody in the household needs to work, and they could still barely afford the place they live in and food on the table. It's fucking horrible. It needs to be fixed, and yet our government doesn't fucking care about their people that they should be caring and taking care of.
More.
Like, I just got a good job. I started in September, but even with that job, I still can't do shit. I can't buy anything. I can't afford the rent these days. Like,
here's the thing. You should be able to afford a place you live in and afford to eat. After that, you should be able to have funds to do at least something fun at least once or twice a week. Yet we only have enough money to be able to afford rent and food. And we can't go out anywhere because just driving somewhere is fucking expensive. So it's hard out there. I can't even really go out anywhere at all. I can probably go out somewhere once a month, and that's horrible. I don't really like going out anyways, but it's horrible. People can't afford to go out and have fun or have things for themselves. They can only afford to pay rent and food, and damned everything else.
I'm just feeling
I do OnlyFans because I have to pay off a little under $10,000 in medical.
so much despair.
I started OnlyFans purely to pay off my medical debt and then stopped completely, but I ended up falling in love with it, and
I know I'm normally like,
I'm so close to making an OnlyFans because I'm so stressed and broke and riddled with medical debt.
really, really positive, but
I'm halfway to my medical debt goal. Thank you all so much.
I'm just like, how is everyone else, and are you okay? Because the answer's probably no.
We're gonna just start an OnlyFans. In 48 hours, how much money did you make?
48 hours.
Oh my god.
I made a little over $1 million.
Here's the proof I made $50 million on OnlyFans. Isn't this the Catch Me Outside chick? I heard there were people who signed up to her OnlyFans the second she made it when she turned 18. And it's just, what the hell, people? Get a fucking conscience and a moral fucking compass. Bella Thorne breaks OnlyFans record, earning over $1 million in the first 24 hours. Oh, this is Amaranth. Okay. I only see these kind of numbers in GTA. Fans stunned as Amaranth unveils 57 million OnlyFans earnings. Jesus Christ.
47 million to show tits and ass. Why wasn't I born a girl? Their lives are on Rookie. I wish I was a girl to make easy money like that. Women have it so easy, it's not even funny. There is a lie perpetuated by people on the internet that OnlyFans is this get-rich-quick scheme, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The average woman on OnlyFans only makes $180 a month, and that's average. Most are making way less than that. But this get-rich-quick lie is not being sold by only random people on the internet, it's also being sold by OnlyFans itself. Kiss that 99-cent ramen goodbye and say hello to endless opportunities on OnlyFans. This is just the 2023 version of, hey lady, I see you're having financial problems. Say, can you dance? I have a couple of friends who are pretty famous OnlyFans models, and they've disclosed to me that allegedly people who work for OnlyFans have approached them, telling them to post about how much money they made or show off expensive things they bought with money they made by being an OnlyFans model in order to recruit more women to be OnlyFans models. This includes showing off handbags, expensive clothes, makeup, cars, and even houses. Like, I just bought my first house thanks to OnlyFans. It's disgusting.
It is. Look, I know there are a lot of women who do OnlyFans because they feel like they're forced to do it because they see it as easy money, which selling your body is the easiest thing you can do for money. But it just shows that how screwed our society is, because a lot of people are driven to the point where they think that they need to sell their body just to make money. Shit needs to be fixed. People who have a job need to be able to afford shit, and people can't afford shit. And they think the only thing they can do, which they think is the easiest thing they can do, is to go on 18 plus sites and sell their body, which is not the greatest decision.
Disgusting to do this in general, but especially disgusting to do this during a housing crisis. It's just evil. It's incredibly rare you can make a living doing this, just like YouTube. And I could not imagine if YouTube sold itself like, tired of being poor, become a YouTuber. Like, why?
I see, it's weird that I see that there are kids and other people who say that their aspiration is to become a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer. It's like you realize how saturated these two places are and how incredibly difficult it is to rise to the top, and there are already so many people who are up there. I mean, it's a lot of work to do it, and you have to have a lot of luck as well, because the two platforms are so goddamn saturated that you'd have to have the luck of the gods to reach thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of subscribers. And the same thing for followers for over on Twitch. It's not the easiest thing to do. And like you said, it's incredibly rare. So aspire to be something else and do this as a hobby until you see it, go off. That's basically what I'm doing. I mean, I have almost 250 subscribers on here, 1,150 followers on Twitch, and I barely see anybody ever come watch me. I do these because I love doing these things, despite if I never, get anywhere with it. I do it because I like doing it. I don't care if I ever get famous, if I ever make any money off of it. I've been doing this because I genuinely like doing it. But I would suggest people who want to do this, just do it as a hobby. Don't do it full time. Do it as a hobby and get a job so you can actually pay for shit. And then if you see this start going off and you start making a good amount of money to support yourself, then you can start doing it full time.
What? Now, why would they do this? Why would OnlyFans manipulate and entice poor, desperate people like this? Oh, that's why. Of course.
OnlyFans reclusive owner made $338 million last year as the adult site's popularity surges.
Of course it is. That's always why. In a way, we are all selling our bodies to labor. We are all whores. Whether you work at a fast food place, you're a lawyer, or a YouTuber, you're a whore. We're all whores for capital. At the end of the day, it's a job. These Twitch girls, these OnlyFans girls, they're getting their bag. Like me, like you, like everyone else. And I guarantee you, a lot of the men who about OnlyFans models would do it instantly if they could. You would all be s***s. And why wouldn't you? Go to college and go 100K in debt for a useless degree that won't get you a job? Or this? Why wouldn't you? Break your back and spirit working a 9-to-5 that you absolutely hate and get no satisfaction from? Or this? Why wouldn't you? And that for...
Yeah, look, despite me saying that I do this because I genuinely like doing this, I would like this to go off, and I would like to make money off doing this and do this full time. Don't get me wrong, I would love that. I don't think it'll ever happen, which I'm fine with, but I would like it to actually happen. But I'm pretty content with what I'm at now. But like I said, I would like it to go off. I would like to do this full time, but I don't see it happening. So I'm still going to do this, and probably until the day I die, but yeah, I'm going to do it because I like doing it.
For the modern woman is probably the most black-pilling question right now. Why wouldn't you get exploited or exploit yourself? So is it really the Twitch thots' fault? Taking advantage of a market to make it in an overwhelmingly male-dominated field? Is it really her fault for trying to survive in this unforgiving world, in a society that will abuse, exploit, and degrade her anyway? Is it really her fault? Yes! Yes, it is! Get off Twitch! It isn't for porn. The end! So that was that video. I have been wanting to talk about this subject for years now. What do you guys think about this? Do you also feel that desensitization feeling I'm talking about? And how old were you when you first found this kind of stuff? Has it affected your life or relationships at all? But who cares about relationships? Who cares about real women when we can have an AI girlfriend? Am I right? Anyway, I will see you guys soon with a new video, possibly about that. New video for Valentine's Day. Okay, bye!
That AI girlfriend thing is so fucking stupid. But yeah, that was Shoe on Heads, the Twitch thought epidemic and its consequences. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I would love to hear your opinions down below, so please let me know. If there are any other videos you'd like to see me react to, please make sure to comment them down below or over on my Discord page. I do have a channel over on Twitch that I stream to Fridays through Sundays. Links to... I would like to see you all over there, so please give me a follow. Links to everything will be in the description below. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.